Okay, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to still work with isometric rooms, but we're going to animate an isometric room coming together. A very simple isometric room, no furniture, just walls, trim, flooring. But the animation, so this is more of an animation video than an isometric model building video. So just, and it's gonna be a longer video. Just you'll see that obviously when you're searching it, but. So here we are, our default scene in Blender. I'm going to switch to my units here, scene properties. I can change this to Imperial. And I'm going to hit N on my keyboard, bring up this menu. I'm going to add in some dimensions. So 10 feet by 10 feet by 8 feet is a good size for a room. So Control A to apply scale. Tab into vertex mode. We'll delete this vertex. X to delete vertex. Tab into face mode. Select, holding shift, these three faces. Option E on your keyboard. Extrude along normals. Tab into object mode. G to grab. Z, we'll move that up a little bit like that. So tab into face mode. We'll select this bottom one. We're going to shift D to duplicate it. Enter, and then P to separate by selection. So now we have a separate object over here now. So we'll select this object. Actually, we'll rename this floor FLR, and I'll call this walls. Okay, so we're going to select our floor, tab into face mode. I want to add 9 edge loops so I have an even number of planks or of flooring. So Command R, so 1, rolling my mouse wheel forward, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know, I think that's around 9. You know, I don't think it even matters if it's even. So enter to accept the number of edge loops, or left click, and then left click again to select the location of the edge loops. Tab into face mode. We'll select all of these. Holding down shift, I'm going to deselect these 2. X on my keyboard, and I'm going to delete these faces. So I'm going to zoom in a bit here. So Command R, some edge loops. That looks good. Again, left click to accept the number of edge loops. Left click again to accept their location. I'm going to select this and hold down shift. I'm going to select alternating edges. Right click, dissolve edges, don't delete them. Now I'm going to go into face mode. I'm going to select this face, and this face. I hit P on my keyboard, separate by selection. So now I have 2 floorings. So go into object mode. I want to select both of these. Tab into face mode. I'm going to select all these faces. E to extrude, Z axis up a bit like that. Actually, you know, I'm going to do E to extrude, Z. I want it a little thicker, like that. So now I want to I on my keyboard, I to inset, and then move your mouse forward. Now you can see it's not insetting in between the planks, and I want it to. So I can hit I on my keyboard a second time, and now it does. So left click to accept that, and then G to grab, Z axis, move that up like that. So now that is the bevel on my hardwood floor planks. That's what I wanted. So I'm going to tab back into object mode. Now I want to duplicate these. I want to fill this whole space. So I'm going to do Shift D with both these selected. And I have an add-on. I've done a video on it. It's called Quick Snap. And I'm going to be using it here. It's basically going to snap a vertex to a vertex. So Shift Q is the shortcut I've set up for it. And so I just find a vertex and I drag it to a vertex and they snap. So now I'm going to select all of these. Shift D to duplicate. Shift Q is my quick snap. And it looks like I need one more to fill this space. So I want them alternating patterns. So I'm going to select this one. So Shift D to duplicate and then quick snap. like that. There we go. That looks good. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some trim. So I'm going to select this object. I'm going to go into face mode, Shift D to duplicate, enter, and then P to separate. So now I've got this here, and I'm just going to go into object mode. I'm going to call this base. And I'm going to tab into edge mode. And you can see, I don't know if you can see down there, I've selected that edge. You can kind of just see it peeking through. Actually, I'll hide this first piece of flooring. Right there. You can see I've selected it. So actually, I want to select the top one. G to grab, Z axis. I'm going to pull that way down like that. Go into face mode. We'll select this face. E to extrude, Y axis, something like that. Actually, you can down here, I just want to see how big it is. I'm going to switch my seam properties to inches now. I want to make this 2 inches. I like to give things set dimensions. It gives you kind of a place to work from. So I'm going to go into edge mode, Command B to bevel, roll your mouse wheel forward, add some edge loops to that. That looks good. I'll stick with that. And I'm going to go back to the walls here. And I'm going to go to face mode. Shift D to duplicate, P, separate part again. Go back to object mode. This will be crown. Crown. And we're going to go into edge mode. Hide this baseboard. G to grab, Z, whip it up here like that. Go into face mode. E to extrude, Y axis, something like that. Edge mode. Command B to bevel. And now right now we're gonna hit P on the keyboard and move your mouse forward and you get a different profile. Actually, just move your mouse around. And then I select this edge here and do a Command B. Now it's remembering the profile from the last one. That looks good. So I want to put this on this wall. So I'm going to do Shift D to duplicate, rotate Z axis 90 degrees. And I'm going to add a modifier here. So with this crown molding selected, I'm going to do a generate Boolean, but I'm going to do a union. So I can select union, and then I want to union it with this object. And I'll go ahead and apply that. And I can delete this extra crown molding. And I can do the same thing with the baseboards. So Shift D to duplicate, rotate Z axis. So I'll select this, add a modifier, Boolean union, and I will union with this. And I go ahead and apply it, and I can delete this. And I'll bring back that piece of flooring. I just want to move this baseboard up. So G to grab, Z, something like that. Okay. So there is a room kind of now I just want to add some color to this. So I'll select these walls, go to materials, and I will make them kind of a yellow. Oh, I better be in a place where I can see the colors. That looks good. And we'll call this color walls. It's good to name things in Blender. You can get lost as your scene grows and grows and grows. So we're going to get rid of that color. We're going to add a new color, and I'll just leave it white and call it trim. And I will get rid of that one and call it trim. I'm going to add some color to this. I might just pick like a brown. something like that. Okay, and now we're just going to select all of these flooring pieces. And we'll select this one last. And you can see it's a different color. Move me down here. We're going to go to Object, Link, Materials. And now they're all the same color. Okay, so there is a very basic isometric room. So I'm going to animate my keyboard, bring up this menu. And if I click on different things here, you can see the location is different. The location, the walls, the flooring has a different location. But I want this to be 0 for everything, because we're going to move things around. We're going to animate them. So I'm going to select everything here. So everything's selected except the lights and the camera. I'm going to do Control A and not apply scale, but apply all transformations. So now you can see all these things are location 0. And we are going to animate them back to location 0. That's the whole object here of this. So we better bring up a timeline here. We're going to need this. So you just move your cursor into the edge here till you get the crosshairs like that. And just drag it up. And then in here, you're going to select timeline. So what we're going to do is, I got to move me out of the way here. That's better. Okay. So actually, that's not going to work either. I got to be down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab all these pieces and move them out of the scene. So move them far enough up and over that you wouldn't see them if we were to render this. So G to grab, Z axis, and then G to grab X, something like that. And then this one we'll do G to grab Z, and we'll do G to grab Y. I always move things on an axis. If you just randomly move stuff in Blender, you just lose track of where it is. So G to grab Z, G to grab Y, and G to grab X. So there they are, kind of out in space. You know, if you look at our room. So now, if we were to render this, we'd probably be looking at it at a view something like this. So the last thing I want to do is I want the walls to also be part of the animation. And what we're going to do for that is we're going to just change the scale. So 0.001, 0.001, 1. So I've made the scale so small on the floor that it kind of disappeared. You don't see it. So now I'm going to select all of these objects, and with my mouse pointer in the view to viewport, I'm going to hit I to insert a keyframe. So here we are. So now I'm going to move this up, and I'm going to select the walls. And now I'm just going to change the scale back to 1. So 1, 1, 1. And I'm going to hit I to insert a keyframe. Oh, instant. I got to select the wall. So right there, I to insert a keyframe. So now if we were to play this animation, we'd have that. So now I'm at frame 10. And what I'm going to do now at frame 10 is I am going to bring my flooring back. So I will select all the floor pieces, and I'll use my quick snap add-on again. So Shift Q, and the floor is back in place like that. Now that's not much of an animation. And then, oh yeah, with all that flooring selected, I'm going to do another keyframe. So I to insert a keyframe. So for all those pieces. Now that's not much of an animation. If we play that, that's no good. We can do better than that. And what we're going to do is we are going to move these animations this way. So with with the second piece of flooring selected, I'm going to G to grab this keyframe. It's turned yellow, so G. I'm going to move it to here. I'm going to go to the next one, G to grab. So I'm moving them in 5-second increments. So G to grab 20. So I'm just sort of keeping track where the last one was. G to grab, I'm going to go to 30 for this one. And G to grab 35. G to grab 40. G to grab 45. And G to grab 50. So now if we play this animation, we got some interest going on here. The floor's going in. So now we're going to just drop in these baseboards. So on this one, I'm just going to go up here and I'm going to put these back to 0. And I to insert a keyframe. And then the last thing I'm going to do is the crown molding. So this one here, I'll just put these all back to 0. I to insert a keyframe. Now if I play my animation, there it is. I'll just zoom in a bit. Actually, I'll shorten my, I'll go to output here and I'll make this go to 75 frames. So now when it loops, it'll be quicker. So here we go. And that's how you animate a isometric room. So if you like what you're watching, give it a like. This is kind of a fun video. I like animation. That's what Blender's really a lot about. Consider subscribing. It really helps my channel. We've been building an isometric room in the previous videos. In that video, in a future video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to animate the furniture coming into that room as well as the flooring and the trim. So stay tuned for that. But if there's something you'd like to see a video on, leave it in the comments. I'm always interested in new ideas. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.